Good morning to you. Tim Smith here, level 4 coach, level 3 personal trainer, also level 2 coach in America for what that's worth. Also the GB Senior A coach for this year and next. Now, hands up. Who has a Lamborghini or a Porsche in the garage at home? Okay, all of you, yeah? If you left your Porsche or Lamborghini or whatever in the garage at home, didn't service it, didn't look after it, never maintained it, never checked the oil level, tyre pressure, and then suddenly jumped in it at a time in the future and expected it to perform up to spec, would you be surprised if the thing didn't fire, the thing didn't work correctly, and it was suboptimal performance? Well, actually, that would probably be expected, wouldn't it? That would maybe be the norm. If you don't look after something, especially intricate machinery, it will fail. Basically, if you look after something, it will look after you. You've heard that phrase or saying. Now, this session is about shoulders, okay? Shoulder health. Not so much shoulder rehabilitation, that's really a specialist area. Shoulder health, shoulder maintenance in anticipation or in preparation for paddling, which is the main sport that we do. And guess what? You are walking around every day of your life with two really intricate, well, a very intricate mechanism, but two very intricate machines, and they are your shoulders, okay? And if you fail to look after your shoulders and operate them through their full range of movement in the various planes of operation and movement, then don't be surprised if you become more susceptible to injury as time goes on. Now, from a coaching perspective, you often hear people attributing injury to bad technique, and that may well be the case, but just as often, in my experience in the sport, people who fail to prepare, irrespective of whether they have a great technique or a less great technique, if they fail to prepare, fail to maintain, and fail to develop progressively their muscles and the musculature and the various mechanisms around it in terms of ligaments and joints and all that sort of stuff, those are the people who are more prone or as prone to injury as somebody who has downright poor technique. So like I say, this is about maintenance, raising awareness a little bit, but I must emphasize that if you have any particular issues with shoulders, this is not really the session for you. This is a maintenance and a development session. If you have particular shoulder problems, you need to seek specialist advice, because I am a coach and a personal trainer. I am not a clinician or specialist physiotherapist, even though I rather think I need to qualify maybe down those lines. Anyway, moving on, enjoy the video. I'm very keen on any feedback you might have. The video itself or the presentation will be loaded onto my YouTube channel. That'll be freely available to anybody at any time. And please do subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Please leave any comments, because I firmly believe that feedback is a gift. So this session is really all about that. So a little bit of a tutorial and a little bit of introducing new exercises if you've not worked with Indian clubs before, okay? So it's ongoing. Now, if you have any form of injury, and I'll cover that in a minute, then you need to get some specialist help. So I am a personal trainer, I'm a coach, I am not a physiotherapist or a specialist in that sort of field. So that's important to say that. Okay, that's a little bit of disclaimer, but that's common sense. If you're experiencing pain in anything we're doing, then stop or rewind or dial it back a little bit. We're going to be doing shoulder stuff, and at the end, I've got a special gift for you, a special challenge, a little challenge for your abs, and you're welcome to take part in that. More of that later on. Okay. So if I said to you, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major, subscapularis, you might say, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking in Latin. What I basically mean is the rotator cuff. We all know that. It's a very intricate joint. It's a glenohumeral joint for what it's worth. And these various muscles do different things. Very often, when you blow your rotator cuff, what you actually blow is the supraspinatus, which is a little muscle that sits in a tunnel. And if we overuse it or don't prepare it correctly, it gets inflamed. And when you do what's called this painful arc test, it's between 40 degrees and 80 degrees. If you're experiencing pain, that tends to be what you're doing, because that supraspinatus is the muscle that's responsible with others for looking after that abduction adduction exercise. Okay, that's that. So it's worth just doing that anyway. I mean, you'd know if you had a painful shoulder, but if you do any sort of this sort of stuff, just going through it, making sure you've got a full range of motion there anyway, and nothing's been impinged. And the other thing specialists would say is if you're doing they call it a back scratch. If you're not sure, and you just try and reach up your back as far as possible, as long as you've got a reasonable range of motion, rather than pain. If you've got pain, sharp pain, then you may have a bit of a problem, but you probably know that anyway, okay? Now I'm going to be taking you through some exercises which are obvious, very simple, but also some less travelled exercises. And like I say, you may jump in your Lamborghini and there may be some function that you don't normally use. If you don't use it, you may lose it or it won't function to optimum. So the idea is we're going to use the full range of movement, full range of functions of the shoulder, and we'll come into some detail. So hold it there. Okay, so your shoulder is very complex. You know this already. It's capable of elevation, it's capable of rotation, it's capable of protraction, retraction, elevation, depression, all sorts of things. And you sort of exist with it and don't realize how complex it is. So I'm going to take you through some exercises with Indian clubs. I'm going to use, these are 3-pound clubs, but they're really, if you look on them, they're weight bars. But you've probably seen the little tutorial. You could use, for example, juggling clubs. Now, juggling clubs are actually Indian clubs. They're actually called Persian clubs, and they go back to the British Empire days and that sort of stuff, where the British found them. They've been there for years, but the British managed to find them in India and imported them. Now, actually, I've got a book from the 1880s, which got all sorts of bizarre exercises in it, for which some of these we're going to do today. Okay, then. So to start off, like any session, we're going to warm you up, okay? The warm-up we're going to use is a star jump. Now, if you're inside, restricted by your feet are doing one of two things. They're either doing the standard star jumps or they're doing marching, high marching, okay? Also, if you've got hip problems, do the marching rather than the star jumps. The top end has got 5 versions to it. So I'm warming you up aerobically, and I'm also warming you up in terms of the full range of function. And when we talk about the shoulders, we're talking about 3 planes of motion. This is called frontal, even though I'm facing you. That's the frontal plane. This is the sagittal plane, as in Sagittar, archer, that's where the name comes from. This is the locomotion, and everything else is transverse. So we're warming up all of those. So option 1 is straightforward star jumps. And remember, your arms reach at the top, not here or whatever. If you can't quite get up there, that's fine, but that's where we're looking for. Option 2 is 1 to the front, 1 to the side. So frontal plane and sagittal plane, okay? Option 3, and I'll take you through these, is 2 to the front, 2 to the top, 2 to the front, 2 to the top. Option 4 is palms down to palm up, palms down to palm up, like a T shape. And option 5 is like a jump rope or skipping rope, okay? And what we're looking to do, if you look, I'm interlocking my hands differently. So right hand in front, right hand behind. So we're warming up aerobically, and we're also warming you up through the full range of movement of your shoulders. Okay, so let's go for 1 minute star jumps. I'll call the changes, a little over 1 minute. Here we go then. 2, 1, go. Normal star jumps. Sets of 10, 7. Option 2, 1 to the front, 1 to the side. Change. Option 3, forward and up, change. Back to option 1, 2, 1, change. Keep it going. Option 4, palms down, palm up. 2, 1, change. And option 5 to finish off, 2, 1, change. Like you're doing jump rope or skipping rope. And hold it there. So you see what you got there is a standard warm up, the standard aerobic warm up, and you're giving your shoulders a little bit extra gains as well. Brilliant. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, take up your clubs. Incidentally, I'm wearing gloves. Not because I'm worried about cross-contamination with my lovely wife here, but with metal clubs inside, I don't want to lose it and throw it through the French windows. These are like £1.50 gardening gloves. So here we go then. 2 gloves. Now any wrist movements are what we call an external rotation. So it's like a sword fighting movement. What we won't be doing is any internal movements because you could squeeze yourself. So that's just worth a little practice there. Imagine you're in the Pirates of the Caribbean. a little external flick, okay? External flick. Same again, so it's going out, out, out. What you probably find is one of your wrists is more supple than the other, okay? So should just let now our heart rate has gone down a little bit. Simple warm-ups to start with, so arms out to the side, and we're doing chest, that's all. What we're going to do is start off very simplex and develop onto more complex manoeuvres. So just opening up the chest, sets of 8, and then go to the diagonals, sometimes called crocodiles or alligators. Pink Champagne call these crocodiles for obvious reasons. And then opposite diagonal, so we're firing up the abs and the obliques as well. And you can probably feel that in your anterior deltoids, the front of the deltoids. That's the other big muscle that goes over. And then once again, so pushing the chest out, and then diagonals again. A little bit of a coordination exercise as well, and diagonals again. There we go. So you feel pleasant pain rather than intense pain. Okay, there we go then. So once again, shake off the shoulders, keep them nice and loose. Now we do something called crossovers. So basically from the front, I'm going 1, 2, 3, and then up. And the range of movement at the back I'm looking for is as high as you can go. So I'm almost lifting off my feet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. There we go. Keep that going. Let's have a look at you. So it's nice and loose in the shoulders, swinging through. And we're aiming to reach up. It's like that external elevation. You can buy, you've probably seen them, so very expensive rigs, about 50 quid, to wear over your shoulders to keep your shoulders back. All you've got to do is these exercises and they'll stretch you out. So it's like I'm just stretching out the chest there. There, keep it going. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. There we go, looking good. That's good, Mike. I think you've got some juggling clubs there, I think. A little bit more. Up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, and hold it there. Okay, shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Next one is called an underarm tuck. So I'm holding my clubs and pointing them outwards. Okay? And the movement is going from here over. Let me just show you on the screen there, because I just lost it on the screen. So from here, I'm going down and I'm trying to reach up as high as I can without it being painful. Like I say, it's one of these for movements we don't normally do, but we still need to get that flexibility. So we're going tuck, back to horizontal, tuck, back to horizontal. So my hips are square. I'm not twisting round. It's not like a punch. Tuck round, and I should feel it in my abs as well. Okay, so I'm square hips, square to you, tucking under, and however far I can go, just push the stretch. But like I say, we're talking mild discomfort, we're not talking pain. If you're experiencing pain, dial it back. A mild stretch, a developmental stretch is good. That's good, keep going, let's take a look at you. Yes, yes, yes. Cat, good, great with the old dumbbells. The little aerobics dumbbells are ideal for this. You don't want too much weight to start with. Keep it going. A little bit more. A little bit more. And hold it there. Once again, between the exercises, give it a good shake off. Brilliant. Next one we'll practice, we'll come back to this one. This used to be called, in the old days, in my military days, we used to call these doorknobs. And they went out of fashion and came back in again. So imagine I'm grabbing or trying to open the door of a big country house. So that's that rotational, the horizontal rotation. So with a bit of weight in my hand, what I'm looking to do is get my extreme range of movement, but not too far. So if you see, as I go forwards, I'm bending forward slightly, it's pulling me down and up. Now I need to keep my arms out. So I'm extending that range of motion. And you see with the club, with a bit of weight, it only has to be a few kilos, you just accentuate and amplify the gains. You could do it just with your wrists, okay? And hold that there, we'll come back to this one. And the other one is opposition doorknobs. So basically we're going one forwards, one back. And you can really see how my torso and shoulder is really twisting and turning, just operating through its full range of motion. Chrissy, great to see somebody using garden implements. That's probably sitting in the shed for years. And this is what this FAME stuff. My FAME series is flexibility, agility, mobility and energy. It's using household items long before, I've been talking about it for years, long before SARS, which just seems to be topical at the moment. Okay, so rest there. Okay, nice and shake it off. Now we're going to go into circles. I'm going to switch to wooden clubs because I don't want to take the light out. So basically you've got not truncheons, but old dragonback paddles. Here we go then. So front circles, one-handed circle first. So tuck one behind your thigh and all we're doing is a frontal circle. Very simple exercise, but it develops up, it builds up. Keep it going. And you should feel it in the top of your legs. So really you're trying to get the biggest circle you can without overstretching. Okay, 8 one way, 8 the other way. Looking good, beautiful. 6, 7, 8. Tuck that one away and second arm forwards. And the good thing is, if I talk too fast, it will be captured on YouTube, so I'll upload it later with a bit of music so you can enjoy it any time of the day. Okay, fine, so that's the frontal plane. Now we'll work in the sagittal plane. This is the flexion, extension, locomotion plane, if you like. You can't quite see, I've got one leg forwards, and we're going to do 8 forwards and 8 back. And again, there we go. So full range of movement. So I'm trying to stretch out the ligaments, the connective tissue, very rich blood supply as you'd imagine to your shoulders. So promoting all of that. And second arm. Doesn't matter which way you go, as long as you go forwards and backwards. Looking good, and forwards, or the opposite way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once again, and shake it all off, nice and loose. Now we're going to do doubles. So we've done singles, now we're going to do double frontal. And you'll see now, it's called a closed chain exercise, which means your legs are in contact with the ground. So don't lift off the ground. What we're doing is exercising a bit of hip flexor and core activity as well. And when we've done 8, and then swing it through. So as we go, it's get a little bit more complex, but you'll see how we develop it towards the end of the session. 7, 8. Okay, so sagittal, doubles. This is like a butterfly, and it helps if you just use your legs just to spring off. Same as a jump rope sort of exercise. 8 those, and then you guessed it, 8 backwards. Once again, try and really, like you're doing a backstroke, but you're stretching out the chest. So once again, full range of motion. Easy for you to say. Now, most people can do this, 1 forwards, 1 back. It sometimes helps either start it off together or start one going and then bring the second one in. If you're anything like me, and hopefully you're not, then one will run fairly close and one runs fairly wide. That's just old injuries for a 58-year-old. And then second one. Occasionally you get somebody who can't do this. It's just a brain, it's a brain wiring thing. And if you can't just go, it's just as good going both ways. So it's not critical. Okay then, so we've done the doubles there. Now we'll do figure of 8s, as the name suggests. So we're describing a figure of 8. And try and really reach out. So when I'm coming up, I'm stretching out the core, but I'm not lifting off the ground. So it's closed chain again. So what I'm doing, if I lift off the ground, then I'm articulating it through my ankle. What I want to do is keep it and stretch the core rather than let the legs take it. And next one, figure eight again. So really stretching out. We're basically extending both the shoulder and the hip. Brilliant. Okay then. Shake it off again. Double figure eights. So here we go. Once again, a bit more of a core activity exercise. 6, 7, 8, and opposite way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there we go. So let's see, double front, interlock and contra. Right, we've done the contra, interlocking. Now, it's a frontal circle. We're coming inwards, so up and in, but notice when I cross over, right hand in front, right hand behind. Same as we did with the warm-up. Okay, so we're crossing over, so the priority, if you like, is changing. So in my case, right in front, right behind. Okay, takes a little bit more thinking about, so it builds up in complexity, and then maybe 8 of those, and then the other way. 5, 6, 7, 8, and again, 4 again, one way, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful, and shake it off. Now we're going to go into back circles. So back circle, remember I showed you this earlier, it's a wrist flick. So with a back circle, I'll take a heavier club. The back circle goes here, but the important thing is I keep my ankle then, my elbows stationary. So what I'm trying to do is rotate there. It rotates behind me. So this is what I'm looking for, a single rotation. Okay, external rotation rather than internal rotation, the wrist hitting your head. So get familiar with it first. Okay, just one-handed, and then try the other hand. So try and keep your elbows so you're just isolating the wrist rather than articulating the shoulder as well. We are articulating the shoulder, obviously we don't want the up or down movement as well. So once you've done that, let's try that with 2 hands. 1, 2, 3, takes a bit of coordination because we're all left-brained or right-brained. 8, and just swing out and up again. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the clubs do the work. So let gravity take hold and you swing and catch, if you know what I mean. Okay then. So now we're going to move it on a little bit. We're going to do a body swing into a back circle. Let me demonstrate it first. So we're going up. Now what's important when you do this, before you try this, when the track of the clubs is not straight down, the track is out. Okay, that's because your shoulder works in that direction. You'll probably find if you try and do it too narrow, your shoulders might click. That's okay, but they track. It's like you're shooting in skiing. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Let me just change the angle, camera angle so you can see it. So we're going up, flick, down, swing out, swing in. It also saves your knees if you're using heavier clubs. Nice and loose, just let gravity do the work, and we're taking our arms up at the back here, just accentuating that posterior stretch. So wrist flick, back circle, and swing. Looking good. And let it swing through. Okay, brilliant. Just to move that on a little bit, we're going to add in a close squat. Let me just show you the angle, excuse me. So you're used to doing squats where you're coming down here, but we've got clubs moving. So we're going to come in narrow, hips, and we're going to squat down that way. So it's going to be from the bottom, flick at the top, and then squat and push up. Okay, push up. So we're letting gravity do the work, and we're driving up with the thighs as well. Remember to keep hold of the clubs and don't throw them through the window or the neighbour's window. Here we go then. So we can do 30 seconds of back circle, swing and drive up. In fact, we do it for a minute. Here we go then. 2, 1, go. Driving up. Keep those shoulders loose. Pushing up, but keep hold of the clubs. That's an etiquette thing. Keep hold of your clubs, like kettlebells. Keep hold of them as well. Remember, you're swinging out and back. And you should feel that really nice stretch across your shoulders as you elevate to the rear. There we go, keep going. Over 30 seconds now. One wrist is likely to be more flexible than the other. Last 10 seconds. Driving up. And take a rest. Okay, brilliant. So once again, kick off the legs, shake off the shoulders. So there's our back and hips. Now, similar sort of thing. This is a bell ringing exercise. So imagine you're a church bell ringer, town crier. So get a rhythm into it. 2, 3. You see what I mean? Once you get into the rhythm, let gravity do the work. Okay, now we'll do a little sequence, a ladder. We're going to go up, 1, up, 1, up, 1, 2, and upwards, okay? Up to 5 and back down again. A little ladder pyramid. Here we go then. So, with me, 2, 1, go. Up, 1, sorry, start again, my mistake. Up, 1, up, 1, up, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, to finish, up, 1, and that's done with back circles. Beautiful. Okay then, now moving it on, a little bit more complexity. I'll show you it first. So we've done the front circles and we've done the back circles, okay? I'll slow this down in a minute. So front circle followed by a back circle. Let's take one hand at a time. So I'm coming upwards, so gravity swings it up, that's the front circle, and when I get to here, I roll the wrist and there's my back circle. So when you break it down, it's actually a bit easier because when you think about it, the arm is moving in the right direction. If I did it the other way, it wouldn't work so well. So scoop up, roll, and let it carry on. So basically you initiate the roll and let gravity take it on. Okay? So a front circle from the side, you should see a front circle followed by a back circle. But like I say, don't overthink it. Okay, looking good. I can see that looks good. And let's try the other way. And like I say, because our brains are wired differently, some right brain, left brain, you might find one comes more naturally than the other. Same as paddling really. I mean, everyone really, unless you've got an injury, most people can effectively paddle on both sides. In fact, what you tend to find is somebody paddles on the less preferred side and they're a better paddler because they have to think on purpose. But then that's another story. Okay then, so let's try it nice and slow, a double. And remember to try and cross over at the front, okay? So let's give it some interlocking circles, front and back circles, go. Really slow, let it go slow and deliberate. And let gravity do the work. I've got to watch the light there. And remember, try and interlock at the front. Keep it going, looking good. This is good. And you should feel that really nice positive stretch down your front. Okay then, I'm going to take you on a bit faster than I would normally. What we're going to try and do is a front circle, a back circle and another flick. Okay, so it's going to go, so we're going up, back circle, another flick and let it go. Okay, let's try that single-handed then. 1, and as you notice what I'm doing, as I'm doing it, I'm externally rotating the shoulder, laterally rotating the shoulder, and that movement will help me achieve the aim. So I'm swinging through the shoulder, you see what I mean? So it's a case of breaking down the movement and seeing how I can officially achieve it. Okay then, so that's my stronger side. Let's try the other one. And like I say, one you'll have to just think a bit more on purpose about, because that's, unless you're both sides brained, if that's possible. But with practice, and like I say, the biggest impediment is overthinking it. If you think too much about it, just let gravity do the work. Now we're going to go into double, so we're going to go open up the chest, rear circle, let it go, and then it drop. See how that works. But open up the chest and let the body do the work. There we go, beautiful. You see there's like a micro pause there, like pausing on the end of a paddle stroke, or at the front of a paddle stroke. It's the same concept, a little patience on before the drop. And one more. Then before we move on to the next exercise, I'm going to take you on to one more level of complexity. If you watch it first, and I'll break it down. So we're going up and back and up, okay, and back. So let's break it down. We're just putting the two last exercises together. So we're swinging front circle, back circle, and then we go in another flick, and the second flick initiates the back. You got it, Mike? And then up, back circle, and that takes it round into another front circle. So the routine will be front circle, back circle, up, rotate, back, up, rotate, front circle, just take it easy. 1, 2, up, rotate, take it back, rotate, 1, 2, 3, rotate, take it back, rotate, and one more, 1, looking good, 3, rotate, take it back, swing it up, rotate, and finish. Really good way to get the blood coursing around the shoulders. Okay, last few exercises. This one is very similar, whereas the last one did a frontal and a back one. This is really just opening up the hips, so all the action, if you like, is taking place in front of you. It's a very similar, a scoop, external rotation, and then a flick. Okay, so it's all in front of you, but this is more to do with coordinating the shoulders and the hips. And notice when we scoop up from this point, I'm externally rotating the hip, laterally rotating the shoulder, and from that point I then do a flick. Okay, so let's try that one-handed first. Your strong side, scoop up, flick, scoop up, flick. In this case it's not going behind you. Okay, so just flick in front of you. I moved ahead myself there. What I'm moving you onto is 2 flicks. So just up, rotate, flick. Up, rotate, flick. So up, rotate, point. Up, rotate, point. And change over opposite hand. Once again, up, rotate, point. Up, rotate, point. Up, rotate, point. Up, rotate, point. Okay, let's try it two-handed. Once again, crossing over, remember that at the front. So up, rotate, point. 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 One more. Up, rotate, point. and hold it down. Okay, one more exercise, and I've got two more exercises for you. So this one is going to be same again, up, rotate, flick, flick. And we're trying to aim up there. So we've got a rotation to two rotations, and we're aiming to end up pointing out as straight as possible and just feeling that tension actually into the top of your lat as well. Obviously your lat, as you know, inserts there. Okay, here we go then. So double-handed, so we're going to go in up, rotate, flick, point. Up, rotate, flick, point. Up, rotate, flick, point. Up, rotate, flick, point. And you end up in this crucifix sort of position. A few more, no, 5 more in your own time. Remember to cross over at the front. Go. Rotate, flick, point. Up, rotate, flick, point. Up, rotate, flick, point. One more, up, rotate, flick, point. Okay, before we finish, circumduction. What am I talking about? Circumduction is this motion here of your shoulders. Like I say, it's one of those that we don't pay much attention to, but we need to maintain it. So what we're going to do, the idea is we do little circles here, and my thumbs just brush my thighs. The circles get bigger, so that's the action at the bottom, and it ends up with my hands here, okay? So we're going to just start here, little circumduction. You can go forwards or backwards, you'll see, you'll go both ways. So little circles, little circles. So if you like, you're pointing the clubs and describing little circles. So what I'm doing here, it's like an ISO hold thing. I'm pre-stressing before an ISO hold. Let it get bigger, a little bit bigger. Keep your shoulders loose. Bit bigger, a little bit bigger. You're saying to me, this is easy. This is easy. But you do this for a few minutes and you'll be saying, it's less easy. But that's where the gains are. It's like in a gym doing 10 sets or 10 reps or something. It's the 8th, 9th and 10th that really make the difference. And a bit bigger. Now about 45 degrees. We're going to 90 degrees only. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Nice and steady. Nice and balanced. And we're coming up. So now we're full range up to horizontal. Still brushing the hips. And then hold it there. ISO hold. And into doorknobs. Opposition doorknobs. One forwards, one back. Get that full range of movement. Now you should be feeling some positive stress. I say if it's painful, stop. Positive stress is good. And then into 2 forwards, 2 back. 2 forwards, 2 back. Okay, and stop there. And now take it backwards. So whichever way you went, we're taking it down. So starting big, remember brushing your chest, brushing your hips, that's what I meant. Take it down, and you should feel, if you're carrying a bit of weight, and this is what I say, start off with a sensible weight and then build up. And down, and down, and down, and down, looking good. So activating the shoulders is like a cone, not rolling from your elbows. There we go, little ones, little ones, little ones. And stop there. Now, progressive overload. As you know, the way you progress an exercise on, with these, you either go for a longer time when you're at the on interval, or heavier clubs. But really important, go for technique first and form, and then like you wouldn't do press ups with a rucksack, I hope, until you had, or whatever, until you had a good form to start with. So get the technique first, because that's the idea is to maintain and prevent injury rather than cause injury. Common sense, I hope. Okay then. So that's that. Last exercise for today, then we're going to do a little challenge for you. This is my favourite exercise because you've got to stand like a Greek god. Not that I look like a Greek god, but you know what I mean. So you stand like this, okay? So make out like a Michelangelo statue. Clive, I can see you, mate. And what we're doing is called a crescent swing. We're scooping down and up, just one-handed to start with. So this starts off behind me. If I show you from the front, I'm scooping down and opening up again. So big external rotation. Okay, just do me 5 or so of those. So from here, this like you're holding a club triumphantly. Scoop down and back, down and back. And Clive, this is where you start swinging the hammer. But if you do that, don't do it in public because you'll get arrested, mate. Unless things have changed in the old bill from when I was there. They'll probably come and shoot you now. Okay, scoop. And like I see, we're opening up, externally rotating the shoulder and the hip. Now try the other hand. So once again, assume the Greek god position and go. So swing, and once again, let the hips do the work. Beautiful. Feel nice hip flex. It's a good aerobic exercise, just as it is. Okay, beautiful. Now shake it off. Now a little bit more complexity for you. It's the double-handed combined. Let's call this the Greek gods. Let's just name it. Let's give it a name. So we're going scoop, 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 scoop. It may look complex, but think about it. Let this one hang. As I scoop, as this one comes up, that one follows, follows, follows. Okay? So try and get a rhythm and watch your knees. If you're carrying heavier clubs, be careful of your knees on all of these exercises. So swinging through, just get the rhythm. But remember, let that one hang up there until I'm scooping up. And then what will happen is I scoop with that one. So the action, the changeover action, happens at head height. Okay. Before we do our little abs challenge, let me just take you through about a minute of this. We're going to change speeds. Raise the speed, but don't lose the technique. So don't go so high and you end up cutting corners. So we're going to do 10 slow, 10 fast. Okay? Here we go. Just start you off. 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 2, 3. Remember, keep hold of the clubs. 5, 6, 7, 10 fast coming up. 8, 9, and then speed up. But keep the form. Don't go so fast that you lose the form. 6, 7, 8, 9, slow it down. Okay, brilliant. What we do is finish off with 10 slow, 10 fast, 10 slow, 10 fast, done. Then we'll do our little abs challenge. Okay then, here we go then. Last one. So assume the Greek god position, a side of your choice. Here we go. 2, 1, go. 1, 2, nice and slow. Get the form, get the range of motion. So same as in martial arts, don't lose the form when you increase the stimulus. Here we go, 10 fast. 2, 1, go. 2, 3, 4, watch your knees. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and slow. So re-establish your best form. I'm standing on a carpet here and the carpet's slipping. 7, 8, 9, 10 fast, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and